we are writing a comprehensive, thorough literature review. Partly a dissection of a paper, of an internationally published paper. So I've been reading this paper around about 5 days now, and I have gone through it, over it, and well, basically answering, for example, well, in particular, in actuality, answering a research problem through these articles, through this one particular article, and among other series of articles, at least 20 of them. And it involves technology and pedagogy, and so involves how information and communications technology, or technologies, ICT competencies are being integrated into the teaching and learning process for teachers, not only in the secondary but even in the higher education. So just a taste of how it is being done. Well, just a view of how it is being done, or as how I was trained indirectly, or directly rather, by a mentor, one or two mentors. So let me see. I will have no option to time lapse this one, but in any case, of course, this is beyond the research assistant work, where you just do some writing without really much learning about the papers, contents, and applications. So far as I've experienced, being the former research assistant tenure, or stint rather. Sir Engel. Uh, One funny thing that I have observed personally is that when you read a scientific paper such as this, published internationally last a long time ago, 2016, is that you just don't digress. You just don't absorb it in the first reading. I mean, it took me. This is probably my fifth reading of this paper. Well, a third thorough reading um, since about December. Well, since about January, and then I traveled or move about from Mindanao and Cebu City. So the thing that I've observed quite distinctly is that this third and thorough reading have me uh, able to absorb more of the paper's seemingly easy yet very complex uh, and compact messages. Basically, what I'm doing now, based on a literature review guide, was to extract this article's message, compact and complex message, according to my research questions. So, for example, there's this dissertation statement of the problem where there are several guide questions for the research study for the dissertation to be able to answer and solve the statement of the problem. So I have to select those answers from this article which would meet uh, the questions being asked in that statement of the problem. Now, what I sense, even now, being a conscious being of what I'm doing, is that I'm even more, I'm even learning more. I'm able to uh, extract more information, even if uh, after, even if this is already the third time that I thought I've thoroughly read this paper, this scientific paper. Scientific in the sense that it's thoroughly published, peer-reviewed, course, well-indexed, Kupos or ISI, whatever, whatever case that may be. This is not just a Google paper or a simple. This is Elsevier, so that must be, I don't know. Anyway, so quite ashamed of showing this paper already because I've been reading this for already about, yeah, almost a month, while I've read other papers only quite slightly, and this one I've read through and through. I understand its message, and now I'm picking up those parts that I thought I deemed to answer the questions on a research, on a dissertation statement of the problem. So, yep, that's what I wanted to say. I'm even more able to learn the contents of this paper, and it's not easy stuff. It's at a level of from easy to medium to difficult, or yeah, it's in the middle. It's medium or a normal level of intellectual activity. It's not purely just easy. At the start, it seemed easy, but then if you want to really tahi, if you want to, needle through the ideas, you also have to really, and it's very enjoyable to really understand scientific paper such as this, even though it's not really mathematical or pure science such as ours in pure mathematics. I've spent quite some time here, but very A very unique finding of this paper is that this is by Almerich et al. In Computers and Education, was that technological competence is a prerequisite, or is a mandatory need for the teachers across all levels: primary, elementary, secondary, and higher education, to be effective in their pedagogical skills, in their pedagogical competencies. That seems to be surprising to me, in the sense that, well, um, pedagogy has been around for a long time, even before uh, advanced technologies for teaching and learning were created, such as computers or whatnot. But now, this scientific studies, or this scientific, especially in the sense that the methodology uses advanced and complex, well, in some sense, complex statistics, and again, as I've said, the procedure of having them published also is thorough and scientific. So that one bit seems to not 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 as much as to surprise me as to alarm alarm me, in the sense that we as teachers, well, even in the higher education level, so shall we say professors, as others would say, the appropriate term, of tertiary level teachers, professors, we ought to actually be technologically competent in order for us to be pedagogically competent as well. Or yeah, in that sense, that's how I read the paper's findings and discussions. So that's it for now. Thanks.